All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? I'm back. Missed y'all on Friday. The crew, Titletown, subbing in for myself. Had some nice calls right here. I see some folks in the chat talking about Cookie Carrasco in 2024. Who in the world, in the right mind, will get on here on live YouTube television and say, play Cookie Carrasco? And he went out and absolutely dropped his sack on the slate. Very nice call, my guy, Hamwich. How was your weekend, brother? Happy Monday. What's going on, man?
It's going good. Lance, man. Where is not one wrong one? Lance can't give him any love there, Nates. Come on, Lance. G. Rosin doesn't make those kind of calls. But no, I was lucky, man. You get chalky Blue Jays, you got to go against chalky Blue Jays. Who would have thought in 2024 that Cookie Carrasco would have still been mentioned on live YouTube TV? But yeah, no, great weekend, Nates. Real sunny. Got some pool action in. We got some winners over here. I saw that in the streets, on the golf streets. MLB streets is on fire. Welcome back. Missed you on Friday. Title did a good job filling in for you.
Yeah, missed y'all, but we're back. And it was an incredible weekend over here at the Nation. If you guys are not members yet, last chance, last call. Fantasy FGWC 15 Fantasy Golf World Championships this week. Our guy Tambo and Hoop are competing there for their share of $1 million. And our guy Tambo, generous Tambo, right, as someone would like to call Santa Claus, Tambo, whatever you want to say. He's giving away up to 5% of his winnings, which obviously if he ships first place, that's $50K that he's giving away. Who else out there is giving away potentially $50,000 for free? Head over to Twitter at Toe-Tag and Tambo and be sure to join that giveaway there. If not, you have to be a member there. FGWC 15 gets you 15% off any monthly or annual plan. If not, go ahead and just hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. We appreciate you watching. Keeps these shows free for you. We're all sports right here on this YouTube station here. How much? We got a nice little 9-game slate here. Ownership, for the most part, is going to be pretty spread out across the board. Obviously, pitchers, we're going to talk about pitchers first. There's about 5 or 6 guys that are probably going to be anywhere from 20 to 25 to 30 to 35% range. I mean, it's pretty split across those guys. There's some high-quality arms up at the top, so we're going to talk through that. Obviously, we're going to talk through hitting. Don't really have a Coors Field slate. Don't really have any sort of crazy games. Obviously, there's one game there out in Kansas City in terms of weather games. That's the best. It's about 100 degrees, wind blowing out there in Kansas City. Cole Reagan's on the bump, though, so we're going to talk about that. I'll throw it over to you, man. Let's talk pitching like we always do. We'll go 8K and above. I want to throw out a couple guys for you. Number one, up at the top, Cole Reagan's quote-unquote, right, chalk of the slate, if you will. Right now, at least projected, it's between him, Crochet, and Peralta. That trio right there, 9,500, 9,700, 10-1. Right now, ownership looks to be going in reverse order due to salary. So it looks like Freddie is coming in highest down, followed by Crochet, followed by Reagan's. Reagan's obviously has the weather there, but gets this Miami team, right? Reagan's has been elite. It is 100 degrees, wind blowing out there in Kansas City. So it is a little downgrade there in terms of pitching. But Crochet, going up against the Dodgers, he's been very good in his matchups, basically quote-unquote matchup proof, if you will. He's looked elite, but now faces these Dodgers. And then Freddie faces these Texas bats who, coming off a sweep over the Kansas City Royals over the weekend, now head out to Milwaukee here to face Freddie Peralta, who we know fastball Freddie right at home this season has been electric, 33% K rate at home this season. So touch on those three in terms of ownership. Obviously, it's reverse order due to salary, right? The salary savings there. And then Justin Steele and Waldron down at the bottom, I have some interest in. Pretty loaded top tier up here. And all things considered, I would love to get 2 of these guys in my lineups. Obviously, when we talk bats, it's not going to be definitely always feasible to get 2 of these top-end arms. But break it down for me. Really hit on that trio, Reagan's, Crochet, and Peralta. Where are you going? What you looking at here tonight?
Yeah, let's touch on those 3 that you just alluded to. I'm going to put Fastball Freddie at the top of the heap tonight. I like him at home, gets to take on this Texas Rangers team that has not been good all season long. Freddie, like you said, above a 30% K rate against both sides on the season. The one knock on him, I would say, is that this Rangers team doesn't strike out a whole lot. But I think Fastball Freddie at home can get the job done tonight. Crochet and Reagans. I would say Reagans would be number 2 for me. Reason I don't have him in front of Peralta is that 100-degree weather. It's very humid, winds blowing out. But this Marlins team, man, they are just putrid, very putrid against left-handed pitching as well. 25% K rate over the last 14 days. So that he would be like a close second to me behind Peralta. And then Garrett Crochet, I mean, gosh, this kid has been dynamite. But this Dodgers team pretty good against striking out against lefties. Obviously, no Mookie. I think they've kind of gone down a little bit. We saw once they got out of Coors, this Angels team kind of held them in check. So I don't think Crochet's the worst play, but Crochet at some ownership would be that'd be kind of dicey to me. But I know you're not a fan of this, just talking to you pre-show, but man, Tanner Houck's my SP1 on the slate. I know he's 10-5. He gets this Blue Jays team, and they got Wiz Khalifa batting leadoff. And don't tell me he hit 2 home runs on Saturday night. That's perfect. I love it that he hit 2 home runs on Saturday night because he's going to hit like 3 all season. So I know he's 66% the way there. Tanner Houck's going to mow this team down. We saw what happened to him all weekend in Cleveland. Got swept right out of town. T-Mac, my boy Tristan McKenzie, dominating that team, 6 Ks through 3. I know he gave up 3 runs, but man, Tanner Houck's my favorite pitcher on this slate tonight. Number 2 for me, I know you like him as well, Justin Steele. I think Justin Steele goes in to San Fran and just mows this team down like he did last time out. And if you haven't seen Matt Waldron this season, goodness gracious, you can see him, that ball's coming in there going sideways. Ball's going to knuckle under. Nats don't really strike out a whole lot as a team, so I'll be lower on him. But give me all the Tanner Houck you can get. I know he's high priced, so you have to get different with the bats.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. I agree somewhat. I'm off Tanner Houck here. Just 10-5. I want to pay for bats, mainly obviously KC bats there. I like some of the Boston guys. I like some of the Brewers. We're going to hit on bats here in a second. I like the Atlanta offense here tonight as well. 10-5 for me. I would just much rather save the $400. Go to Cole Reagans. I'm not scared of this Miami team. I've attacked this Miami team all season long. I get the weather, but hey, the weather, you got to put the ball in play to make the weather affect you here. Cole Reagans at home, been elite all season, 32% K rate. This Marlins team should have some high K line bats in there. Dane Myers, Tim Anderson, De La Cruz, those guys are good for about 2 or 3 strikeouts each there. So if you can find a couple more strikeouts there, I could see 10 to 12 strikeout performance here despite the weather there. Should have all the run support. I love Kansas City here tonight. Surprise, surprise. Much like everyone else is. I already see all in and KC stacks right in the chat. So Cole Reagans, my SP1 on the slate. I'm not really worried about ownership. Like I said, I think he comes in lower owned as well than Crochet and Peralta due to the salary difference there. Because obviously expensive bats people want to pay up for. That $600 dropping down to Freddie Peralta, right, in a good matchup at home. Pretty similar in terms of strikeout stuff and metrics at home this season. So for me, it's Reagans number 1, and then I'm taking the salary, the ownership discount in Crochet. I got Crochet and Peralta kind of 1 and 2 right there. I'm just going to prefer Crochet against this Dodgers team. I mean, if you look at Crochet's game logs this season, right, did decent against the Astros, gave up 3 runs. Otherwise, outside it, right, Seattle, Boston, Milwaukee, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs against Baltimore, right? Baltimore has been beating up pitchers all season long, obviously going crazy. He's pitched very well against good opponents here. This Dodgers team, albeit scary, right, at the top half of that lineup, you get to the back half of this Dodgers team, there's some strikeouts in there, and overall, I think Crochet can definitely get the job done. So I do like Crochet a lot. Peralta's fine. I'm going to be a little bit lower on Peralta. I just think he comes in probably 40% here, 45%. And for me, I would much rather just go up to Reagans or Crochet personally. This Texas team, looking at the numbers over the season, they're hitting the ball well all weekend long against KC, and they're pitching 18% strikeout rate on the road this season. I get it, Freddie there. So I would much rather just play Crochet or Reagans personally myself over Freddie. And then I do have a ton of interest in Justin Steele. Gets a great ballpark here, gets out of Wrigley, gets out of Chicago, heads out to San Fran, West Coast game, right? The temperature out West Coast right now is not great. I mean, I think the temperatures are in the 60s for this game here. It's a great pitcher's ballpark as well. I really love Justin Steele. He's my favorite SP2 on this slate. And then this Matt Waldron. I like Matt Waldron quite a bit as well. I put Waldron ahead of Bassett. So for me, it's Reagan's number 1. I'm going to go Justin Steele number 2, Crochet 3, Waldron 4 for me. Really no interest in Bassett. Really no interest in Tanner Houck. Freddie Peralta's fine, but I prefer the other guys a little bit more expensive than him in Crochet and Reagan's. It's kind of how I'm rounding out this top tier. Let's talk about this lower tier, which I do think some lineups, obviously, you're going to have to move down here and play some of these guys here. I'm going to throw out a couple names for you. Number 1, Griffin Canning, Chalk Canning, Gas Canning, whatever you want to say. He is the quote-unquote guy that everyone is going to right now, at least from ownership projections that it looks like down, picking up any ownership below 8K. He gets these Oakland A's here who, hey, have been hitting the ball as of late recently as well. Talk on Canning, and then talk of any of these other guys down here. Schwallenbach coming off a great start there, gets a decent matchup against the St. Louis team. I have a decent amount of interest in Schwallenbach at 7-4, and then I have some interest going right back to the well with this Carson Spires. It's a little bit of double leverage situation as well. Pittsburgh, probably one of the highest owned offenses projected right now in the slate. I get it. It's nice weather there in Cincy. It's pretty hot, and it's a good hitter's ballpark, but Spires, I think I'm a believer in his talent. I think he can bounce back here, so I don't mind him. I like him as a direct pivot as well off of Canning. Threw a bunch at you there, but basically rank your lower tier here below 8K for me.
Man, just looking at the names and looking at the matchups, it's tough to get down into this territory. I think on I know this show's mainly DraftKings, but on FanDuel, I don't think you should be playing any of these guys. I mean, I've seen it a couple of times in the chat. I mean, Chalk Canning, I mean, how could you get behind playing Griffin Canning when the guy just gets lit up by lefties, gets lit up by righties? I'm not going there. I can't get there at SB2, even at that price. I mean, it's tough sledding down here, Nate, to try to give you a name that I think, and I almost don't want to say it because I know you're going to immediately say no, but I think the best one down here, give me some Patrick Corbin, $5,800 Patrick Corbin going into San Diego, gets a nice ballpark upgrade going to San Diego. We got Tatis, I believe, is still out for tonight. They don't hit a lot of long balls. They play more small ball. Give me some Patrick Corbin is my favorite one down here. I'm not saying you jam him in your teams, but I think Patrick Corbin's outscoring Griffin Canning tonight at a very similar price.
Yeah, no, I would rather I'm out on Patrick Corbin. I actually have interest in the Padres mainly just because we know what Patrick Corbin is. Bet all these stolen base props against this guy. And these Padres will definitely run. We'll talk on that when we get to bat. So I'm out on him. Like I said, I like Spires down here, and I like Schwallenbach. I see some guys talking about James Paxton against these White Sox. I'm just not a believer. I think Paxton is still broken. I get it. He's got 2 good starts, but you combat that, right, with the very short leash that these pitchers out in or for the Dodgers have in general. Looking at the weather as well in Chicago there. It's about 80 degrees too. There's some slight wind blowing in. I mean, this White Sox team has been a little bit better as of late. I just think, I mean, Paxton's still below average strikeout arm there. For me, I would just much rather go to Schwallenbach for more or for cheaper. Excuse me. I think they have similar ceilings, if not higher ceiling on a Schwallenbach. So that's kind of the reason I'm out on Paxton. So for me, Schwallenbach, my favorite guy down here. And then if I were to punt and needed extra salary savings, I would go to Carson Spires against that Pittsburgh. I like that. Like I said, there's double leverage baked in there because when we get to bats, Pittsburgh is contesting the Royals for the highest owned offense on the slate, at least what it looks like right now. Throw it over to you, Hamwich. Go ahead and rank your top 5, and then we're going to jump game by game and talk hitters.
Yeah, let me my top 5. Number 1 for me would be Tanner Houck. Number 2 would be I'm gonna go Freddie. Number 2, just a little bit ahead of Cole Reagans would be 3. Justin Steele 4. Then I'm going Matt Waldron would be 5 for me.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. I'm going Reagans number 1, Justin Steele number 2 for me. I'm gonna go Schwallenbach 3, Waldron 4, and then I'm going Garrett Crochet number 5 for me is kind of how I'm ranking it here tonight. About to head over and talk offense here. First game we're going to talk about is that Pittsburgh and that Cincinnati game. Very good game here. Obviously, when I pull up the weather, looking at it in Cincinnati there, 87 degrees, 85 degrees, about slight wind blowing out to center. Not really matter too much, right? 3 or 4 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour winds blowing out to center. But it is the greatest park on the slate in terms of hitting. And you get Carson Spires, who struggled his last start. And then you get Bailey Falter, who just doesn't strike anybody out, struggles with some control issues a little bit at times. Hasn't really gotten blown up here, but these Reds, man, are a different team. At Great American Small Park here, I like me some of these Reds personally. I think the Reds come in lower owned than these Pirates due to their price tags. You look at these Pirates, I think they're one of the highest owned offenses on the slate just due to their salary, right? You got 3,100, 3,300, 27. You got 3 guys in the back half of that lineup, all projected to be under 3K. Talk to me in terms of this game. I think it's a pretty interesting game. One of the highest totals on the slate and 2 offenses that are definitely going to get some ownership here. For me personally, I side with the Cincinnati side here over the Pirates for me.
No, we agree with you 100%. I mean, just looking at the Bucks numbers over the last month and the last 14 days, I mean, they're striking out 25%. They're not hitting any home runs. They're not hitting for average. They're not hitting for BABIP. I don't see how you can play these Pittsburgh Pirates. They're not a very good ball club. I understand they get a ballpark upgrade. They get 27 outs and all those good things. But, man, no thank you there on the Pirates. I'm out on them, and I'm with you. I like these Reds tonight. I mean, I like the Reds in this park. They got stolen base upside galore. You know, if Ellie gets on, he's going to try to steal 2 or 3, 4, 5 bases. So don't mind him. I think the Reds are going to get some steam late. I know the prices are up there, but yeah, definitely team Reds over team Pirates tonight. I don't think I'll have any Pirates, Nades. I'm not going there tonight.
Yeah, I'm not going to the Pirates here. I like other offenses more. I just don't think they're a very good offense. If they burn me, they burn me. I think good for them. And I'll move on to tomorrow. I think Brian Reynolds is fine. O'Neal Cruz, if he's in that lineup, I think he's fine. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, O'Neal Cruz is hitting third here tonight. So Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, I think are fine. But outside of that, I just don't want to get behind this offense. I like a lot of other spots more. So for me, I'm out on the Pirates mainly. Especially when they're projected to be probably the highest owned offense, all things considered, on the slate. I'm eating chalk at pitcher, so I'm not going to do it with the bats too, and albeit a pretty bad offense in general here. So for me, no Pirates really interest for me. And then on the Cincinnati side, I like these righties a lot against Bailey Falter here. Candelario's been on fire, right? He's a switch hitter there. Obviously hits better from the left side of the plate, but still – I don't mind him. Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, I really like a lot. Jonathan India, I like those righties a ton. You get some cheap guys. Luke Maylade down there, projected to bat 9th right now, catcher, 2,600. He's got some power here tonight. Good weather against the pitcher that doesn't strike anybody out, struggles with some hard hits. So give me some of these Reds, mainly the righties. Stack around those guys. Overall, very affordable offense here. They'll steal bases as well. So I do like Cincinnati, one of my favorite offenses on this slate for myself. Let's head into another good hitting park here. It's Fenway. Looking at the weather here in Boston, about 76 degrees, but you got double-digit wind blowing out to right field here. Definitely a boost to those lefties that can pull the ball, and that's what you want against Bassett is the lefties. He struggles with lefties. I like me some low-owned Red Sox, mainly the lefty bats. And they loaded this lineup with lefties. Duran, Hamilton, Abreu, Devers, Yoshida, Dom Smith, Reese McGuire. They got 7 out of the 9 hitters from the left side of the plate here tonight to attack those splits of Mr. Bassett Hound. Give me some of these Red Sox. Red Sox, one of my favorite sneaky offenses of this slate. For me, give me all the Red Sox here tonight, mainly the lefties. No Blue Jays for me against Tanner Houck. It's just more the salary. That's why I really didn't love paying up 10-5 for Tanner on the slate.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. I mean, this we got what 10 miles out to mile per hour winds out to right. Bassett struggles with lefties. The one thing with the Red Sox, I mean, they hit righties very well. They just don't hit for a lot of power. So how do you get win DFS tournaments? You get Duran on base and stealing bags. You get Hamilton on base stealing bags. Then hey, if Devers can get going, he's been pretty cold. If he can start get going. That's where you get the bombs coming into play. Yoshida, I really love these Red Sox tonight. One of my top 3 favorite stacks. And then I think Tanner Houck just mows this Blue Jays team down. I mean, anytime you got a guy named Isaiah Kinnear Falefa batting leadoff, man, you're struggling. You're a struggling ball club. He's going to mow right through these guys. I'm taking these Red Sox on the money line and the run line tonight as well.
Yeah, no, couldn't agree with you more. Not too much on IKF. Wiz Khalifa there. I mean, he might go out and hit another double dong. I wouldn't bet your house on it. I wouldn't bet anything on it. I wouldn't bet Hamwich's money on that. But hey, he did did go double dong. I had to do a little double take when I got the Twitter notification saying Wiz Khalifa with a home run, and then I saw the little parentheses 2 today by his name as well. I thought I was literally dreaming. So that was quite the sight to see. So yeah, realistically, no Blue Jays for me. I do like these Red Sox. And not only that, I mean, Bassett struggles with control as well to lefties. And these Red Sox will steal bases, to your point. He's got about a 12% walk rate over the last 30 days to lefties. So like I said, I like these lefties quite a bit for Boston. Don't think they pick up much ownership at all. I actually think more people go to the Bassett side of things in terms of DFS plays here tonight than play these Red Sox. So that's kind of the reasoning for that. Had interest in a couple of the teams early for me, Reds and the Red Sox. Jump into another game where I have some interest on one side of the spectrum here in this game. Atlanta heading to St. Louis to face Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn's been good at home. Journeyman here. I just don't think Lance Lynn is going to keep this up. I just think he's going to regress here. He's got a 26% strikeout rate at home, but what he struggles with is lefties again here. Braves got some good lefties in this lineup. Obviously, Alzi Albies, Kelenich's getting rolling right now. Matt Olson. You got a cheap guy down at the bottom, Forrest Wall, and then you got some of the best right-handed power in the game right now. Over the course of the season so far, Marcell Ozuna, Austin Riley, Sean Murphy, Duvall. I like this Braves team quite a bit here tonight. I don't think many people go to them at all. And anytime you can get an Atlanta offense, albeit they have scuffled a little bit so far this season, definitely not like the Braves offense we saw last season, but they're still powerful offense here. They'll steal bases. They hit for power. I like this Atlanta offense here tonight against St. Louis and Lance Lynn. No Cardinals interest for me.
Great breakdown. Yeah, they struggled early. They're 9-2, Nate. Their last 11. They're getting that thing rolling now. You said it. Those lefties, and even in the slate plan, those lefties are where you want to target. But hey, don't forget Ozuna, who's a master. Don't forget Riley. This Braves team. I don't know why they're not. I guess I do know their price, but they're going to pop off tonight against Lance Lynn, especially those lefties. And then, hey, we get the return of Wilson Contreras tonight. Catcher back for the Cardinals, expected to make his big league, I guess, re-debut tonight after being on the IL for several weeks. So good to see him back. Cardinals are one of my sneakier stacks that I like, Nate. I do like them tonight. I'd love to see where Wilson's batting, but I don't mind them. They will be different, and I definitely like the Braves tonight as well.
Yeah, for me, it would just be the lefties, which the Cardinals definitely see the splits there for Schwallenbach, albeit a small sample. Lefties have tagged him a little bit more. There's a lot of lefties projected in this lineup right now, right? Six hitters or seven or five hitters, projected, right? Kind of the back half of that lineup: Gorman, Donovan, Carpenter, Ciani, and then Burleson, who, hey, mind you, Burleson's been on a tear right now. He's just 3,900. So I don't hate it. I think you could play both sides. I just give the lean more to the Schwallenbach side just due to the salary savings there. And I like other offenses more than the Cardinals. Can't play every team. I think they're fine. I just much prefer the Braves. Jared Kelenich's way too cheap on the slate, 3,400. He'll steal bases. He's hitting for power right now. Like you said, right, the Braves are picking it up 9-2 over the last 11. Sean Murphy at 3,300. I mean, he's got a ton of power there. Should hit kind of in the middle of that lineup. And if they're not giving Olsen pitches, they're not giving Riley pitches, we know they're not going to definitely throw meat down the cob at Ozuna. Hey, Sean Murphy might come to the plate with 2 or 3 guys on. He's got a ton of power to hit it over the wall there. So give me some of these Braves. I think they contest the Red Sox, I think, for my low-owned stack of the day, because 2 good offenses against, obviously, the nature of the slate. That's the reason for that. So I do like Atlanta quite a bit here tonight. Let's head out to Chicago, a game that I don't have a lot of interest in at all from Bat's perspective. If I had to choose one side, it's pretty gross. I would probably choose the White Sox side over the Dodgers here side, which is crazy to say, almost as crazy as saying Cookie Carrasco is a viable candidate for DFS in 2024. Hamwich worked out. It worked out for everyone who tailed it there. I saw him getting praises like he was parting the Red Sea there, like Moses or something on Friday in the Discord there. So talk to me in terms of this one. White Sox and the Dodgers, not a game generally that I have much interest in at all from a bat side. I like some of the one-offs here. Tio Hernandez, Will Smith, just two lefty mashers. The only thing is they got a very good lefty on the hill here tonight facing Crochet. Who's going to win out, the good hitters or the good pitcher so far this season? Talk to me.
Yeah, we're in agreement, Nades. I mean, I'm interested to see this White Sox lineup. I don't think I've seen a confirmed one out, but man, James Paxton, someone said he had back-to-back good games. I mean, but for the season, he's just been atrocious, giving up a 32% fly ball rate. White Sox have been hitting at about a 34% fly ball rate over the last 14 days. Hey, I'm with you on this. I think Paxton is washed. I don't mind some White Sox, especially minis. Pham, Vaughn, Robert, Jimenez, DeJong. They're going to trot out. I mean, according to this, 9 righties, right? So we want to get to them early. We know that Dodgers bullpen is pretty good, but hopefully they can put up 6 or 7 early and then bring in, their bad relievers. And then I'm with you. It'd be one-offs only for me. I'm not going to pick on Crochet, but if you wanted to, it'd be with a righty masher. Tio or Will would be the two that I go after, but definitely have some interest in these shot Sox.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play the White Sox, a slate to do it is against a lefty here. Paxton, I just don't think I don't think he's there yet, right? I think he's still got some concerns there, and these White Sox get Eloy back tonight here. Lefty masher, Eloy Jimenez, 4K, great price point there. Luis Robert, obviously Paul DeJong has been hitting well. Corey Hughes has been hitting good. I mean, these guys are super, super, super cheap. I mean, they got one guy in the lineup over 5K, right at 5K. The rest of them are all 3,600 or under. I mean, if there's ever a spot to play a White Sox team, I think maybe it's not the right slate to do it. But I do think some of these White Sox, I wouldn't be surprised here to see the White Sox get to Paxton. We see the old Paxton of beginning of the year outside the last 2 starts return back to form here, and these White Sox kind of jump on him here and do some damage here. It is decent weather there in Chicago as well. Nothing crazy in terms of wind or not, but it is very hot and humid across the Midwest here, at least in Wisconsin, about 3 hours up the interstate there. So that's kind of my interest. And then, on the Dodgers, I mean, you can play Ohtani any slate, but 6,600 lefty there. Don't love it. Will Smith, I think, is a great play at 4K? Is he 4K on DK? Or is that, I think that's pulling in the wrong. Let me see what his price is. Yeah, 5,300. Man, I would much rather just play Salvador Perez. So, I mean, Will Smith, I think, is fine. Tio Hernandez, but realistically, I don't have a ton of interest in this Dodgers team here tonight. I think Crochet can do enough, and there's much worse pitchers to attack on this slate than to attack Crochet here. Personally, is how I'm approaching this.
Hey, real quick, no Goldie in the lineup tonight for the Cardinals, so I think that lowers my liking of them. But no Goldie tonight.
Yeah, that gives me a little bit more interest in Schwallenbach a lot, or definitely improves my interest there. Schwallenbach coming off a great start last start as well. So I do think the kid's very talented. I think he gets it going. I think he has run support behind him. So gives me a little boost to Mr. $7,400 Schwallenbach there for Mr. Spencer himself. So I do like that. Good call out there. Let's head to a very, very good game here. My favorite game of the night. These Royals headed back home, coming off a tough series. Overall, the weekend in Texas. Last night I had them in my core. They were super low owned, and it was the first time they got shut out since, I think, beginning of last season. Only the second time over the last year and a half, I think, I saw that they got shut out here. But now they had 100 degrees in Kansas City, some slight wind blowing out, the best hitting conditions on the entire slate, a good hitter's park here against Munoz here, who gets hit hard. And, man, these Royals have a ton of power at home here. Give me Bobby Witt. Give me all the lefties to start. Melendez, way too cheap. Vinny P, way too cheap here. If Isbell's in there, I love him at 2,300. Munoz gets hit hard by lefties. And then you got some of the best right-handed hitters in baseball. Royals been one of the best teams in baseball, at least for DFS purposes. They hit home runs. They steal bases. They're not going to be crazy, sneaky by any means. They're going to be one of the highest owned offenses on the slate. But there's enough ways to get different here, and I think ownership spreads out amongst a couple teams enough. Give me the Kansas City Royals here tonight against Munoz. No fish for me against Ragans.
Yeah, no fish fry tonight. I'm going to be no Marlins, and I'm going to be under on those Royals, Nate. They've just been ice cold for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to do a wait and see approach to this one. I'm going to mark off my list tonight.
All right, bold take there for Mr. Ham. We'll see. My favorite offense of the night, and he's fading it here. So we'll see how that goes. If he keeps his cookie jars full there after the old Carrasco take there, or we'll really see. He's testing his luck here tonight. I mean, maybe he should have just went out on a bang there with the cookie Carrasco. Call of a lifetime there, but hey, we'll see. At the end of the day, it's still baseball, one of the highest variance sports in all of DFS. So definitely wouldn't fault anybody there, but not for me. I'm playing these Royals. I love these Royals against Munoz here. Personally, couple games left here. We're heading to Milwaukee here. My club in town, the Milwaukee Brewers here on the at home. Lorenzen on the hill. Freddie Peralta on the hill. No really Texas bats. I mean, I saw a bit on Twitter, right? Marcus Semien, one of the best splitter hitters, I think, right, in baseball. And Freddie Peralta, that's his main pitch, I believe. I might be mixing up the pitches there, but nonetheless, I saw Marcus Semien and Peralta. He hits Peralta's main pitch very well. So talk to me in terms of any Texas bats against the highest owned pitcher on the slate, at least projected right now. And then these Brewers, I have some interest in this Milwaukee squad. What I like about Milwaukee is they've been one of the most aggressive teams in baseball all season long. They just don't strike out a ton. They're very young. When they get on base, they're stealing bases. I think they're up in the top 5, I think, for stolen base attempts. Very aggressive against Lorenzen here. Below average strikeout rate, gets hit hard a decent amount. Talk to me. Any Brewers for you, and then any Rangers on the other side against Peralta?
Yeah, no Rangers for me tonight. And then, some interest in these Brewers, these righties for the Brewers. I mean, looking at Lorenzen, I think he's almost a reverse splits guy. Gives up more fly balls and less strikeouts, less missing swinging strikes and strikeouts to righties. And so I'm just making sure that I'm looking at the right thing. But yeah, I mean, I think I have interest, especially in those righties. I think a lot of these lefties may get some ownership, but I'm going the righties for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love these righties. I love these power righties. I put in the slate plan here. Looking at the numbers, Lorenzen has been getting hit hard from the same handedness, right? Only 16% strikeout rate over the last month. ISO of 228. Some hard hits, north of 60% hard hit rate there. And these Brewers, William Contreras, love him. Willie Adames, love him. You got Rhys Hoskins, love him. I love all three of those. Joey Ortiz should be very low owned here at 4K, especially if he keeps his spot there hitting 8th. Tyler Black has been hitting. He struggled when he first came up, right, earlier this year. Then he went down and started ripping the cover off the baseball back in AAA. He's back up to the big leagues. He's 3,200 there. Has a power and speed combination there, much like the rest of this team. Terang has been great. Christian Yelich has been on a tear. I like these Brewers quite a bit here tonight. I'd probably put them about fourth on my list, I would say. But I definitely have interest in these Brewers, mainly the righties first, and then stack around them. And then, no Rangers interest for me. Corey Seager, I guess, maybe, or Marcus Semien. But outside of that, I don't want to play those price points. I'd rather play some of those KC bats, some of those Atlanta bats at similar price points, personally, is how I'm approaching the slate. Let's head out to Anaheim here. It's not LA, right? I see that every time, right? LA Angels, our guy in the chat is going to correct us every time. We're heading out to Anaheim. The Athletics are in town. Not the greatest hitters ballpark here, but Canning, just a terrible pitcher. 15% strikeout rate from both sides of the plate at home this season. These Athletics, I think, have some guys that, in terms of a sneaky stack, I think this is a good little sneaky stack. I'm not going to 5-man these Athletics here tonight, but I do like me some Soderstrom, Langeliers, JJ Bleday. I like some of these lefties against Canning here from these Athletics, and they're very cheap here. Lawrence Butler, my boy, in there. Talk to me. Any interest in the Angels and the Athletics? I do want to call out the Angels, probably one of the highest owned stacks of the board as well against Medina here tonight, as well as it shakes up right now from ownership projections.
Yeah, you nailed the A's that I would have interest in. Bleday, Soderstrom, Langeliers, Whitman Rooker who can hit bombs. Zach Geloff, man, he's had a pretty good last couple of days. I know he had a bomb in back-to-back games. I think it was Thursday, Friday, but yeah, I don't mind this A's team, especially against Chalky Canning, like we talked about earlier. I don't think I would ever put my money behind Griffin Canning. And then you're saying these Angels are going to be they're highly owned as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't mind them. I mean, if they're coming with ownership, I would like them less. But yeah, give me these A's over Canning, and if the Angels are getting ownership, yeah, I'm gonna go to another offense for sure.
Yeah, I would just much rather stack up the Brewers personally than stack up the Angels at pretty similar ownership. I mean, outside of ownership's pretty spread, to be honest. So when we're talking ownership, it's relative to the slate. I mean, KC, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati are kind of your three main teams, and then it's pretty spread out after that. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing LA is right now projected to be second or third highest owned stack on the board, contesting with Pittsburgh. So I just can't do it. I would much rather play the athletic side of this game, guaranteed 27 ounces as well, which is nice. But Soderstrom's been on a tear. I think he's hit a home run in 2 of his last 3 games, something like that. And he's 2,300. It is tough to play him on DK because he is first base eligible, but on FanDuel, I mean, he's 2,600 on FanDuel. You get that utility position there where you can play 2 first basemen if you like. I like that a ton. If you can fit him, definitely do that. And then on DK, it's a nice way to get different because I think Vinny P, Matt Olson, some of those guys at first base take up that spot, and you can't play both of them. So that is one way to get unique right there. I mean, you stack up the Royals and leave Vinny P off. Personally, obviously, I love the lefties for Kansas City, but that's one way to get different. Play a Soderstrom as a value guy. Spend down at the position when most people spend up. One very easy way to get different there. You can play chalk everywhere else and definitely have a different roster construction than the rest. So for me, it's more the athletic side. The Angels side, I mean, Taylor Ward, I think, is fine. Logan O'Hoppe is fine. Outside of that, I mean, really don't have a ton of interest here. Like I said, I like the athletic side more for mini stacks, mainly the middle, Blade, Rooker, Soderstrom, Langeliers, Lawrence Butler kind of guys. Geloff, I think, is fine at second base at 3K just because second base, I think, is a spot where I prefer to save salary. So Geloff hitting the baseball pretty well right now. 3K, everything kind of checks out there. Position eligibility is definitely nice there with him at second base. Let's head out. 2 games left. We're going to head out to San Diego. Cy Corbin on the mound. You had some interest in Corbin. These Padres, I mean, they're going to get some ownership, but realistically not a ton from what I'm seeing here and looking at it, right? Historically, you blindly stack any team against Patrick Corbin. Gets hit hard, gives up stolen bases. These Padres will steal some bases. Give me these power righties mainly for me on the San Diego side, one of the highest implied team totals on the slate. And then on the National side, I don't love the Nationals. First game coming out of Coors Field. That's why I have more interest in Waldron as well. Typically, that elevation change definitely gets the teams at least the first day. Over the course of the season, over the course of the last couple seasons, I've always attacked teams coming out of Coors Field. That's the script here for tonight for the Nationals. So no Nationals interest for me. I like these Padres, starting with the righties, Tatis, Machado, Solano, Ha-Seong Kim. I really like Ha-Seong Kim's upside, at 4,400. He's got 15 stolen bases on the year. Obviously, we know you can steal easy on Patrick Corbin. And, so that's kind of where I'm going here tonight. Padres are coming in pretty low on from what I'm seeing as well, which definitely increased my interest a little bit.
Yep. No, certainly understand wanting to pick on Patrick Corbin. He's easy to pick on. We're showing Tatis in the projected lineup. I mean, that would really determine if I'm going to play him. I mean, I'm looking at a 5.43 implied run total. So if they're going to come in with not a lot of ownership, a lot of people want to play these teams that go off early and kind of forget about these late night hammers. So, I mean, if he's in the lineup, yeah, I think I like him a little bit more than I normally would, but they just don't have so much. They don't hit a bunch of bombs against lefties from what I'm looking at. So I would be lower, especially if Fernando is out. And then, no Nats against Matt Waldron this evening.
Yeah, no, excellent breakdown there. We're on the same page there. Heading out to a game that I have realistically no interest in. I like Justin Steele as one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. So realistically, no Giants interest for me. And then I don't really want to play the Cubs here. Spencer Howard hasn't been a great pitcher. I mean, they're fine, but I like a lot of other teams more. I just don't like this ballpark. Typically don't like playing teams out in San Fran, regardless of who's on the hill on either side. Just not a great hitter's park. There's much better hitting environments on the slate. So this last game, I hope it's a pitcher's duel. I hope Justin Steele goes out there and throws a gem. No bats for me in this last game in San Francisco.
Yep, agree with you. Really like Justin Steele tonight. 4 out of his 5 games, he's gotten above 20 DK points. His last 3 games on the road, he's gotten 20-plus DK points. Now he goes to an extreme pitcher's park. Nate, you and I haven't stacked the Dodgers in this park. We haven't stacked the Yankees in this ballpark. I'm certainly not stacking the Cubs, who haven't been hitting a lot, nor the Giants. Give me some Justin Steele. I would play the Giants pitcher if they had one, but this guy's going to be 2 or 3 innings, then they're going to swap him out. So, yeah, just Justin Steele, definitely no bats for me.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page there. That's all 9 games. We talked pitching. We talked hitting. Obviously, it's a pretty loaded range up at the top tier for pitching. I have some interest below 8K, right, in Schwallenbach, especially now with no Goldie in that lineup. Increases my interest there in Schwallenbach. So overall, it's a spend up at pitcher, maybe a spend down at a Schwallenbach as SP2. I love the Kansas City offense and that, but Hamwich, I'm going to throw it over to you. Let's go ahead and run it back, see if we can get back on the hot streak here. We went 4 for 4, 2 weeks in a row? Then it's been a little rough over the last couple shows, mainly on Fridays there. Let's get it back on track here tonight. I'm going to kick it over to you, man. Who's hitting the long ball here tonight for you?
I'm going to go to the STL, St. Louis, batting cleanup. I'm going to go Matt Ice. Matt Olson will hit a bomb tonight for the Braves.
Matty Ice, hey, that's a good bat to go there. And for me, I'm going to go to an off-the-wall little double leverage situation. Canning, I think, picks up some ownership here. I'm going 2-pack, back-to-back here. Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, nice little mini stack there. Rooker's from the right side, Soderstrom's from the left side. 2,300, 4,100, very, very cheap guys. The A's have been hitting a little bit. They're not a great park overall, but hey, I'll take the salary savings. They've been smashing the baseball, especially on the road this season. Their ISOs are up way north of 250, over 300 there. So I do like Soderstrom and Brent Rooker to both hit a bomb here tonight in Anaheim against Mr. Gas Canning. That's going to do it for this Witching Hour show here, brought to you by Shipping Nation. Again, if you guys are not a member yet, FGWC last chance, or FGWC 15 last chance to get 15% off monthly. If you head over to Twitter at Toe Tag and Tambo, he's giving away up to $50,000. He's giving away 5% of whatever he wins this weekend. Him and Hoop are competing for $1 million at the Fantasy Golf World Championships there. So good luck to them. Good luck to everybody else out there as well, competing, one of 50. I think, right, there's 50 competitors that made the finals there for $1 million up top. So, hey, he ships first. He's giving away $50,000 for free. Head over to his Twitter. He's got that posted there. If not, just use that promo code FGWC15. Get in our Discord. Check out all of our tools. Begin to win with the members. Screenshots galore all weekend long. We continue to crush over here at the Nation, but appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. If you're watching on playback, do the same. For Hamwich, I'm Nate Defy. Good luck tonight in your contest. Hope to see those Shipping Nation logos at the top. Let's ship it.